It's alive! It's alive!
Hey guys, that's your Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. I'm glad to have you all here with me today. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way. Halloween is around the corner. It got me thinking, guys. Remember the last time they released some really awesome champions on Halloween? Was Siffy and Rotos, were they Halloween champions? I don't know, but I always think back to the Halloween of 2019, where we got Miscreated Monster and Madame Ceres on the same day introduced to this game. And I got to thinking about, who are they going to release this Halloween, right? And I also got to thinking about how Miscreated Monster is still one of the best epic champions in this game here 5 years later. 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, he's still a GOAT. And by the way, on top of taking an updated look at this amazing epic champion, in today's video, I'm gonna give you a little bonus and talk about an epic that I discovered as an add-on. He'll be on one of the teams at least. I have been super impressed with this dude. Apparently, I'm the only one in the game. I'm the only one. Maybe I'll make a whole nother video on this guy. But Khafru the Death Keeper, I really like this guy too. We'll talk about him in the video as we go, but really quickly, just so you should know what he does while he's doing his thing, right? It's an AoE, removing a random buff from all allies, damage increases, he's healing all allies, and then he's unkillable on himself with taunt for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown, with damage mitigation for everybody on the passive. What's not to like about this guy? Why do people hate him? And he can smack. Could deal some big time damage. Anyway, I digress. Miscreated Monster. Oh, I love that intro, by the way. I try not to overuse it, but I love that. I love the frank intro. Shout out to Plarium. They made me that before I was even in an official creator or whatever. This is back when he was released. They made me that intro. So thank you so much, guys.
Well, what else did she give you? A photo of herself?
Anyway, 23k base HP. Out the gate. They don't make epics like that anymore. That is legendary-esque on the HP, and I love it. He's obviously an HP-based champion. He looks amazing. I mean, look at the dude. I just love the electricity oozing through his body. I love everything about Frankenstein, man. I love it. I like Halloween. You guys are Halloween haters, Halloween lovers? Let me know. My girlfriend hates Halloween. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I think I like that.
Meaty fists on his A1, attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 25 chance of placing a stun, has a 50% chance of placing a decreased defense for 1 turn. If the stun is placed, that's 60% chance or 65% chance with sniper and books into this A1. Let's just start with the A1. Holy crap, this is a great ability for an epic, no less. The fact that it's a 25% stun, but it happens on each hit is fantastic. And then he can place the decreased defense if the stun is placed. Now, beggars can't be choosers, but I would prefer him place the decreased defense if the stun is not placed, so we could reliably get that big version on bosses. But again, it's a nice little thing to have for wave content on the decreased defense, and the stun, well, anywhere, wave content. Lightning Storm. This is the big boy ability that really is just insane for an epic. It's damage based on HP. It's an AoE attack, has a 50% chance of stunning everybody for a turn, so more control, more stuns, and then this shield for 3 turns equal to 25% of the total damage inflicted. Now this can do amazing things in the Spider, in Ice Golem where there's 2 minions. Anywhere there's minions, it's the total, wave content. It's the total damage, man. So the more enemies, the merrier. That's a big boy shield. He doesn't have crazy multipliers. I think it's a 2.2 on the A2. I'll double check that in the background. But it's a 3-turn cooldown. Amazing. Then he's got an ally protect on a 4-turn cooldown. He's healing him by half of his freaking HP. And then he's placing a continuous heal for 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 turns on himself as well. Great survivability because ally protect is a very dangerous buff to have in your kit because you take so much damage, so he really mitigates that with the shield and the continuous heals and the half heal. By the way, his multipliers are 0.21 HP, which isn't bad on the A2. All right. And then he has more control. He has the stuns on the A1, the stuns on the A2, and then Spooky Groan places a fear debuff on the attacker for 1 turn whenever an ally is attacked while under an ally protection. It just straight, it's not a 20% chance of placing a fear. It's not a 30, not a 40, it's 100% fear on the attacker every time an ally is attacked under ally protection. You put the fear with the stun, and the stun, he's one of the best control epics out there in the game. Very underrated in that regard. His aura is weird, HP in arena battles, okay, whatever. He can't win them all. The downside on his base stats or his defense is pretty dang low at 815. Gotta be real with you guys, but it is what it is. You just jack up that HP as much as you can. You try to pay a little of attention to the defense. I wouldn't even be opposed to putting like a defense flat stat ring on him just to bolster up that base stat a little bit. This is how I have him built in today's video, guys. I have a +3 Frank, and I actually have kind of a lame blessing, I'm not gonna lie. I have Chain Breaker on him. I think I would probably change that to, what could we change it to? Of course, we could just go Cruelty or Crushing Rend or something. I have him fully awakened. We have Emergency Heal as well. So when that shield expires, we can heal him, right? So I really like that idea as well. Heals him at 15% of his max HP. But he has so many heals on his A3 too. I don't know. I don't think it's really necessary, honestly. So let's go with, I'm gonna go with Crushing Rend just for a little bit more damage because he is 6-star awakened. If he was like 5 or below, I'd probably just go Emergency Heal on him. What about you guys? Anyway, this is the Masteries. I went down, I picked up War Master. Nothing crazy out of the Masteries, except for I will point out that I do have Lay on Hands. It works with his A3, right? I also have Shield Bearer. The most important mastery for this dude: increase the value of shields a champion cast by 5%, lasting gifts to extend the duration of his 3-turn buffs already. Sign me up, love the dude. I actually did go in here and went with rapid response 2, turn meter fill every time a buff is expired from this champion. With gear, I went Immortal, because I love the extra heals, I love the extra HP, more damage, bigger shield. Everybody's happy, more survivability. I like Defiant on my ally protectors, because when do you have to worry the most about ally protectors? When they're getting big AoE attacks and everybody's damage is getting soaked up by him. So I feel like Defiant is a beautiful way to offset or mitigate some of those big hits that come in. Again, I'm thinking Ice Golem here. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even mind stacking up a couple Defiant sets on him instead of Immortal. And for accessories, I have a 3-piece pinpoint on my man. Now, I love, if you don't have 3 pinpoints, you can go with a Feral. Even 1 Feral is 40 accuracy, which is incredible. It's insane for a 1-piece. But 3 pinpoints, amazing. You get the 40 accuracy and 10% speed. I love it. I had to make some big-time stat sacrifices here. You can see I have HP with attack and a lot of attack. Not what we're looking for, but at least I get the HP there. I have crit damage, but it's a 5-star. It's meh. And then again, I have a little bit of speed on the HP pinpoint. This is the best I had, right? So you got to rock with what you have. But as Cruson said when we had him on the channel, the #1 live arena player in the world. If you missed that video, it's an hour and 20 minutes, but I highly recommend it. Super smart guy. He said when you scale to the end game, when you're in the mid game, you start graduating to the end game of Raid Shadow Legends, you start putting set over stat. When you're in the early game, you put stat over set. You get what I'm saying? So I made that decision here as well. Kind of crappy gear, not the best for the end game, of course, right? But I made that sacrifice to have the triple pinpoint because I get the 40 and the 10. I mean, that is worth it right there, those bonuses. All right, I'm belaboring the point here. We're 9 minutes into the video, practically, and I haven't even showed you any gameplay. I apologize, guys.
That's how I roll.
You know what? I didn't even show you what I have on the dude. I should at least show you his stats, right? Or you guys will let me have it in the comments. So we have 112k HP. I have him +3 empowered. I'm waiting on that 4th Miscreated Monster, or 5th, I guess. 248 in the speed, 103, 188. A little bit shy on the crit damage there, but you'll see why in a moment. 317, enough for most content. We do have crit rate on the gauntlets here, with crit damage as an ascension stat, not too bad. And look at all that juicy defense we get off that those Defiant gauntlets. I have obviously HP on the HP percentage on the chest, and then I have HP percentage on the boots as well. That's how I got to 112k HP. Obviously, speed in the boots is totally fine as well, but I wanted to give this guy as much survivability as we could because we're going to be tackling some very difficult content in today's video. So, speaking of difficult content, let's start with Ice Golem's Peak, Stage 10, and this is the team that we have assembled. We got UDK, we've got Krafu, is that even his name? Kafru.
Leave it.
We have Artak, of course, and we have Deke. Deacon Armstrong, and Miscreated Monster is going to keep us alive. Now, I didn't go in there and turn off his A3 on the Ice Golem. I think we're still going to win because we did 3 times during our practice rounds before we hit record. But I would advise, if Miscreated Monster is always dying and your team is wiping in Ice Golem or in any content, maybe for that boss battle, turn off the Ally Protect and just lean on that big shield on the A2 ability instead. It's on a 3-turn cooldown anyway, right? So you'll get back to it pretty quickly, because sometimes that damage, even with the stats that we have, he'll just get wiped out immediately against the Ice Golem. We don't want that because we want him to stay alive to put the shield on everybody. So what I'm trying to say is go ahead and turn off the A3 if he's dying for you. Again, it wasn't an issue for me, but I had to kind of mention that. I'll come back to you guys when we get to the Ice Golem. Guys, I just wanted to point out really quickly that 4 out of the 5 enemies are all under fear. 4 out of the 5 enemies are all under fear from the Spooky Groan. Spooky Groan. I like that ability name. All right, guys, here we go against the Ice Golem. Let's see how we fare here. So let's see where he is in his cycle. I don't even have any team set up whatsoever right now. We do have to be careful of heal reductions. So building him, if you want him to specialize in Ice Golem, building him with a little bit of resist might be a wise idea. But let's see how this team goes. He does apply immediately the Ally Protect, and he takes a decent amount of damage, but honestly, not as bad as I thought. Not as bad as I thought. All right, let's see the the swing attack, right? Big shield on everybody. I'm loving it. Time compression by Deke. Look at Krafu just doing his thing there with a little tauntage. Little unkillable too. All right. Going in there again, sweeping goes in. I mean, this team is right now smooth sailing. Let's take those guards out ASAP, though. We don't want 100% ignore defense. All right, no big deal. Spooky Groan's not going to work against bosses, unfortunately. But, hey, we're not going to highlight Miscreated Monster, I should mention, in the arena today. But we could. I think this dude's super underrated in the arena. He's not an endgame arena champion, don't get me wrong. But, man, I mean, that A2 can hit pretty decently hard. He can shield up your allies. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about him in the arena, too. He's just tough to deal with, tough to get rid of, right? Again, for progression or for a go second account, you're losing speed battles, you're frustrated, throw him in a bolster set. The HP scales super well, right? Look at this. We're making quick work. Hey, by the way, check this out, guys. Marmal in my clan, quad speed roll on a feral piece today. Dude. Oh, Miscreated, you're not supposed to die. All our rehearsal, we lived. All right, it is what it is. But hey, hopefully his death was in service of keeping the entire team from wiping out, right? It must be the case, guaranteed. By the way, what does he say? Ash, what's your comp with the best time in PSG stage 25? 18 seconds on USMC. Well, we'll check that in about 2 seconds. We're going to check that live in video, USMC. Okay, so we finished the job. Not ideal that he died. I'm not going to lie, but I don't redo runs here on the channel. I'm not going to give you guys a false bill of sales, but that will happen. We talked all about that ad nauseum, right? Still puts out 1.8 million damage. Artak obviously doing his thing, but look at Krafru with 3.7 million on that dude, right? With only 1 AoE, his A3 does no damage. Not bad.
Forgive me, but why am I here?
I love Frank, though. He was great on those waves. We pointed out the fear, the stuns, the control, the shields, the ally protect, the heals. Brings so much, man. I love Miscreated Monster. I love this guy. He might be my favorite. I made a whole video about this, but I've made a promise to myself that regular sets, not 9-piece sets, 5-star, I'm not going to do it anymore. My artifact storage is clogged. I can't hold anything anymore, even though I should roll it up just to see if I get like a quad speed roll, shouldn't I? Anyway, do as I say, not as I do. Let's check Phantom Shogun really quickly here, and I want to take you to a very difficult stage of Centranos where Miscreated Monster came in clutch for me. Phantom Shogun's Grove, I don't think I have anything crazy. 18 seconds. Same thing. Same thing as USMC. I'll say I'm also at 18. If you guys are curious on the team, apropos of absolutely nothing, this video is going so far off the rails. It's that. double newt. Surprise, surprise. A little ninja Yumeko action as well. Okay, what am I doing? What am I saying? I don't know. We're gonna go to, we're gonna go to Curse City. All right, guys, so Curse City, basically the very final stage, at least geographically here. Do you think they'll ever do anything with Curse City? Think they'll ever like expand it or change the bosses or make it a little bit more interesting? I don't hate it, by the way. The rewards are great, but you know, I think they could spruce it up a little bit too.
Quick, put a wallet in his mouth.
Anyway, the last double boss in the game, geographically, he came in clutch for me. Check out my squad here, guys. I got a Morrigan. By the way, Morrigan, one of my favorite low-key legendaries that nobody talks about too. She's very, very good. She's on the squad. We got Eric's, who's a free legendary champion after like 2 years. And then we have Catacomb Counselor, one of my favorite, most underrated ally attackers for epics out there. Not as good as Fat Man, but not far off. And then we have Executioner, one of my favorite in the game, great control. And then we have Miscreated Monster as well on the team. Let's see how we do. We got to beat ourselves here as well. So I have a double stun shot with Eric's and with Miscreated Monster, right? And the nice thing here is Morrigan can buy us a lot of time. Decrease the turn meter of all enemies, fill the turn meter of all allies, and increase speed on all allies. It's a very good ability. All right, we're gonna go in with the A2 and hopefully stun a couple of them. Okay, we stunned one. We stunned Miscreated Monster, who's actually a really valuable stun. Now let's try to kill or stun Eric's here. We stunned her. Perfect. That's why I like the team. I got 2 shots of the stun. Everything's working out great. Gonna go in there, apply the decreased speed with the Tumult ability on Executioner. I love it. I feel like we can just ally attack here almost. But you know what? Eric's scares the hell out of me. Let's just kill Eric's. She's too healthy over there. Let's get in there. We still can't kill her, man. Golly. Let's just A1. And then let's go in. Let's go in with A3 here. Get a little counter tech action. Let's put on that ally protect on everybody. It's alive. That was a really lame it's alive, huh? It's alive. That was even lamer. I'm never going to do that again. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry for the 3 of you who are still watching 20 minutes into this video. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and apply. Let's just put on auto. Who am I kidding? Right? Okay, here we go. You ever do? I'm gonna admit to something so bad here, but I think we've all done it, hopefully. But you ever take your team off auto and go manual anywhere in the game, right? And lose, and then like accidentally or just put it on manual and then or on auto, excuse me, and it does better than you did on. It doesn't happen often, but I've had it happen before. Maybe it was just a Hydra battle there. I was like, screw it. I'm sick of doing it. And, you know, not the whole run, but like for a time period, you're like, oh, crap. It did better than it did. It did better on auto than it did on manual. That's very embarrassing. But anyway, I digress. I'll put it on auto right now, and things are going at least faster. I can guarantee that. That's for sure. But again, Frank here. Stay on task here. Stay on task, Ash. Frank is my man. I love, even if things went wrong, right? In terms of maybe we didn't land the stuns, maybe someone got resisted or whatever. Like that shield buys you, it gives you some forgiveness, right? Buys you some time. I'm just a big fan. So you can see this team, again, it's not a crazy mythical team or a bunch of crazy legendaries. And this is, you know, these bosses are very difficult, right? And we had to deal with all of my mirrors. But Miscreated Monster is just such a good all-around support champion. I could really sit here, and I kind of want to, just sit here and show you a billion other areas you can use Miscreated Monster. Because the truth is, you use Miscreated when you're just hitting that plateau. When you're struggling, either in specific content like this, where you only have a few limited options, or an HP-only secret room in Doom Tower, something like that. But anywhere you just need survivability or control, he's got you covered in both areas. And he brings a little damage too, right? And a lot of damage mitigation. I love this champion. I love this champion. That's awesome, Ash. USMC. I mean, we should have a tiebreaker, right? Let's have a tiebreaker. How many nuts on your team? All right, that can be the tiebreaker. If he has 3 nuts, then I win. He really wins. I win in this competition. He wins in the game of Raid. All right, here we go. Dark Fae dealing with the ally. Okay, now's a good time to mention the downside of ally protection is when you're going against, you know, some mischief, some buff stealers, a boss who can steal buffs or anything like that. You got to be very careful. Look at Miscreated right now. You know what, Miscreated? Are you just gonna die? Are you just gonna die in every part of your big... Oh, he healed himself by 50% of his HP. There you go. He's not gonna die. No way! All right, Miscreated. Heck of a job here. Outdamaged by only Eric's on the team. Look at all those heals that he let down all on himself, that selfish Frankenstein. But I love this champion. Hopefully you guys do too. I really wanted to talk about him because A, we're in October and Halloween is coming up, and I have my fingers crossed we're gonna get better options than Masked Fearmonger as Halloween champions, because I think it's an awesome opportunity to bring in some really cool looking champions as well. Like, I like a lot of the aesthetics around Halloween. But I'll end it there, guys. I'm rambling too much. Thank you for watching all the way till the end, and as always, take care, guys.